Hey everyone, welcome back. You know how we love to do deep dives on, well, just about anything retirement related?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think we've covered a lot of ground.
And today we're tackling a big one, annuities.
Annuities. Yep. Always a hot topic.
Specifically, we're looking at marketing materials for the Athene BCA 2.0 annuity.
Kind of try to cut through the salesy stuff.
Yeah, exactly, and figure out what this annuity really brings to the table.
Whether it could actually help you, the listener,
Yeah.
reach your retirement goals.
Right. But before we jump into the Athene BCA 2.0, I think it's worth taking a step back.
Okay.
Just to make sure everyone's on the same page.
Makes sense.
So can you give us, like, the ELI 5 version of what an annuity even is?
ELI 5, I like that. Okay, so basically imagine an annuity as this agreement between you and an insurance company.
Mm-hmm.
You hand over a chunk of money, this is called the premium,
Right.
and in return, they promise to pay you back in regular installments.
Okay.
It's like building your own personal pension, in a way.
Okay, I get it.
Some annuities start paying you right away, others you have to wait for.
Gotcha. So this Athene BCA 2.0 we're looking at, one of the big things they emphasize is guaranteed lifetime income.
Right. Yeah, you see that a lot with annuities.
But honestly, the word guaranteed could feel, I don't know, maybe a little too good to be true sometimes.
Well, it's not necessarily too good to be true,
Okay.
but there are some nuances, for sure.
So help us understand what's actually being guaranteed here.
So the guarantee is that the insurance company will make those payments, as agreed in the contract, for as long as you live.
Okay.
That part, I S guaranteed.
Okay.
But, and this is important, the size of those payments.
Okay.
That can change depending on a few things.
Like what?
Like how the investments tied to the annuity perform.
Oh, I see.
And of course, all the details spelled out in your specific contract.
Right. The fine print. Always the fine print.
Yeah, always read the fine print.
Okay. So guaranteed income, but with some caveats. Now, another thing they highlight is this idea of getting both market protection and degrowth potential.
Trying to have the best of both worlds.
Right. Like, can you really have both? They mentioned a 0% floor, which sounds like a safety net.
It is a safety net, yeah.
But how does that work with the growth part?
Okay, so the 0% floor means your initial investment, the principal, that won't drop below what you put in, even if the market crashes.
So no matter what, I won't lose my original money.
Exactly. It's protected.
Okay, that's reassuring.
Now, the growth side is tied to how certain index strategies perform.
Index strategies, meaning like the S&P 500, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Things like that.
So if the market's doing well, my annuity value grows too.
Right. You're essentially participating in those market gains up to a point.
But there's got to be a trade-off somewhere, right?
Well, yeah, the 0% floor offers that security, but it might also limit how much you can potentially gain.
I see. So the growth might be slower compared to just investing directly in the market.
Potentially.
Yeah, okay. Makes sense.
This kind of annuity is more about stability and that predictable income stream, not necessarily high risk, high reward.
Right. Okay, I'm with you.
It's a different approach.
Now, they also talk about this Balanced Allocation Value system, BAV for short.
Oh, yeah, the BAV.
It sounds kind of complicated.
It's not as complex as it might sound at first.
Okay.
Think of it as like a way to track your annuity's potential growth in real time, almost.
Okay.
So instead of waiting for quarterly statements or whatever,
Yeah.
you get more frequent updates on how it's doing.
So it's about transparency and being able to keep a closer eye on things.
Exactly. More transparency and flexibility than some of those older valuation methods.
Okay, that makes sense.
You're in the loop.
All right, so we got the guaranteed income, the 0% floor, the BAV system, and then there's this Balanced Allocation Lifetime Income Rider, BAE.
The Bailey Ear. Yep, another acronym to add to the mix.
And it comes with two different growth options, SGO Max and Flex Growth.
Yeah, two different ways to, approach the potential growth.
So break it down for us. What are the key differences between these two options?
Okay, so with SGO Max, the focus is on maximizing your guaranteed lifetime income.
Okay.
It does that by guaranteeing a certain level of annual growth. And then 100% of those interest earnings get added to your income base.
So it's like slow and steady wins the race? Kind of.
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay, and what about Flex Growth?
Flex Growth links your income base to either a guaranteed percentage or a portion of how those indices are doing, whichever is higher.
So it's tied to the market, which means more potential for big gains, but also more risk.
Exactly. You're more directly exposed to those market fluctuations.
So SGO Max is more predictable, while flex growth has a higher ceiling but also a lower floor.
You got it.
So choosing between them really comes down to my risk tolerance and how much growth I'm hoping for.
Exactly.
If I'm all about stability, maybe SGO Max makes more sense. But if I'm comfortable with some ups and downs and want to try for those bigger gains, flex growth could be the way to go.
That's a good way to think about it, yeah.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of the, I guess, theoretical stuff.
The foundation, yeah.
Now let's talk about the more practical aspects of retirement planning. Withdrawals, minimum interest credit, and, well, what happens when we're not around anymore, the death benefits.
The important stuff, for sure.
Yeah. So first up, withdrawals.
Right. So with the Athene BCA 2.0, you can withdraw up to 10% of your account value each year without any penalties.
Okay, that's good to know.
That gives you some flexibility if you need to access some cash for unexpected expenses.
Right, because life happens.
Exactly. You never know.
And what about this minimum interest credit, MIC?
Ah, the MIC, this is like an extra layer of security.
Okay.
Basically, it guarantees that your savings will keep growing even if the market is flat.
So even if those indices aren't doing well, I'm still earning some interest.
Yep, at least a minimum rate.
That takes some of the pressure off for sure.
Right. It's about peace of mind.
Okay, and finally, death benefits.
So it's not just about what happens to the money while you're alive, but also how it can benefit your loved ones.
Right, exactly.
The Athene BCA 2.0 has a family endowment rider, FAIR.
Okay.
And this provides a death benefit to your beneficiaries that's actually bigger than the account value at the time of your passing.
Oh, wow. So it's like an extra layer of insurance.
You could say that.
That's pretty amazing.
And there's also an option called FR Max, which could provide an even higher death benefit depending on your circumstances.
Okay, so lots of options to consider.
Definitely.
So to sum it all up, this Athene BCA 2.0 annuity seems to offer some pretty attractive features.
It does, yeah.
It's got that potential for growth, protection from market downturns with the 0% floor, and that guaranteed lifetime income.
It's got a lot going for it.
But, and this is a big BUT, I think it's important to remember that no single financial product is a one-size-fits-all solution.
Couldn't agree more.
So, as always, we encourage everyone to do their own research. Maybe talk to a financial advisor who can help you personalize your retirement plan.
It's about finding the right mix of strategies for your specific situation.
Right, because everyone's retirement journey is unique.
Exactly. What works for one person might not be the best fit for another.
So, before we wrap up, any final thoughts for our listeners? Something to ponder as they continue their retirement planning adventure.
Well, I think the key takeaway here is that it's not just about choosing specific products.
Okay.
It's about understanding your goals, your risk tolerance, and then finding the tools and strategies that align with those.
So it's about the bigger picture, not just the individual pieces.
Exactly. It's about creating a plan that helps you achieve the retirement you envision.
I love that. Well said.
It.
And thanks to everyone for joining us on this deep dive into the Athene BCA 2.0 annuity.
It's been fun.
Always a pleasure. And we'll see you next time for another deep dive into the world of retirement planning.
See you then.
Bye, everyone.